Okay, so today we are going to be talking about how to generate high quality leads on Facebook without having to spend a penny on ads. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about how to generate high quality leads on Facebook without having to spend a penny on ads. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And so, since you guys are joining us today, you are going to get a free PDF on 6 ways to create hooks that will boost your engagement on social media when you are prioritizing video content. So, if you stay till the end of this webinar, you can find out on how to get it. There are specific instructions on how to get this free PDF. So, make sure you follow those instructions, okay? I also did kind of want to give a little shameless plug to the Direct Insurance podcast. If you guys have not been listening to the Direct Insurance podcast, I highly recommend it. It's a really good time. We've been talking a lot about how to generate high quality leads, either for free or by utilizing social media. We've been talking a lot about social media strategy, and we've also been conducting quite a few amazing interviews with some of our top agents as well. So I do highly recommend that you dip into insurance with us. There are new episodes every Tuesday on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, as well as on Spotify. Okay, so let's go ahead and dip on in, shall we? So why use Facebook to sell insurance? Well, number one is because it is the largest social media demographic audience. Over 1/8 of the global population of the world uses Facebook at least daily or weekly. So that's another great reason to use Facebook specifically for marketing yourself as an agent. And it also has the highest number of business features as well, which are great for personal as well as business use. You do have access to a Facebook business page, which is free. This is the great thing about social media, is that a lot of like the marketing features that you can use for yourself are free tools. So it's like, why not use them, right? You can use Meta Business Suite to schedule posts through your Instagram and your Facebook account. So it's really, really simple to be able to upload content to your Meta Business Suite, and then it'll automatically post for you to your Facebook business page as well as to your Instagram profile. So those are really, really great features. And it's a really great way for you to showcase your personal brand. And then you can also use Facebook for networking opportunities within Facebook groups, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about a lot today, which is going to be utilizing Facebook groups in order to sell your products and services. So the Facebook audience demographics are that, so the pandemic did force quite a bit of the senior population onto social media in order to keep up with friends and family, and has the largest activity source for seniors who are online. There are so many like games and activities and stuff that people will play while they're on Facebook. So there's quite a few people who are using Facebook for not only for personal reasons, but also just for entertainment and, just again, like I said, keeping up with friends and family. And it's also it's the most social way to interact with users in the digital space because you have access to Facebook groups. And it's a great way to generate business for years to come as the younger generations are aging into the Medicare system. So back when Facebook kind of first started, a lot of the demographic was more of like the college kids. Well, now that was almost 20 years ago. Is it? Was it almost 20 years ago? I mean, well, let's just say 15 years ago. So let's just say 15 years ago, the people who were using Facebook were in their like early to like mid 20s. Well, now all those people like are in their 40s. So then people who were like maybe their parents, anywhere between the ages of like 40 to 45 are now 60 right now as well. So these people that have been using Facebook for the last 10 to 15 years, they are now starting to age into the Medicare system. So all of these people are going to really be on Facebook. We've got the fastest growing audience down here where there are ages of 55 to 64 and then 65 plus. Even though these only make up a good 10% of Facebook's total audience, it is the fastest growing. So like I had said before, as far as the social network for 2023, the number of Facebook users in the world, monthly and active users, is 2.963 billion people as of January 23. The number of people who use Facebook each day is about 2 billion. Think about it this way. I mean, like, we've got 8 billion people on the planet, right? So if 2 billion people are using Facebook each day, so I said before it was 1/8 of the world's population. It's a quarter of the world's population. So Facebook's global advertising audience down here is the 1.9383 billion people. So, again, you've got a good quarter of the world who's on Facebook and ready to see your ads. But again, we're not really talking about ads here. But what we really want to focus on is engaging with other people through groups. So now, if you did not go to the 2022 Madahu Medicare Summit, you really missed out, because oh my goodness, we got to hear from, now like my new like idol here. So Sandra Gebhardt is an insurance social media marketing specialist, and she does have a program called Done For You Social Media Marketing. And it's very similar to what we do here at IAD and like MAD, which is going through like content marketing and coaching and really how to use social media as a true tool in order to benefit you and your business. So Sandra's rule of thumb is that every day you're going to add 5 new friends. You are going to engage or comment on 5 posts every day, and then send 5 encouraging messages through Facebook Messenger every single day. You have to stay consistent. Now, but I'm going to add one more thing to this rule. We're going to add 5 new friends, engage or comment on 5 posts, send 5 encouraging messages, and engage in 5 Facebook groups as your business profile every single day. I want you guys today to go into Facebook today and join 5 Facebook groups that you are genuinely interested in, that you find that your target audience will be interested in as well, and start connecting with people. And I want you to join as your Facebook business page. You can join in as your personal profile if you want, but it's going to help you out a lot more if you join as your business page. So what Facebook group selling should look like? Well, it should look like community building. You're going to be talking with other people, you're engaging with people, networking, and having genuine conversations. When I've had so many other agents tell me before that, the Facebook groups thing didn't really like work for me. People kind of just, like tried to like kick me out, or they were just like kind of rude about it. And it's like, well, I mean, what was your strategy like? I'm going to ask you that. What was your group's strategy like? Did you kind of just like bust down the door and you were like, hi, my name is John and I sell insurance? Well, I mean, yeah, I would probably do the same thing. I'd be like, okay, like we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about insurance. Okay. We're here to talk about badminton. Okay. Because that's what this group is about. So you want to have a strategy when it comes down to groups, Facebook groups selling. So when you are in Facebook groups and you are using Facebook groups as a means of showcasing your personal brand, you are not selling, you are sharing. You are sharing your life experiences. You are sharing your interests and hobbies, your coffee order, something as simple as that. You're sharing your likes and your dislikes, maybe even your personal achievements. You're sharing things about yourself and about your life with people online, because that's what Facebook is for. It's to be social, and it's to share things about yourself, because you want people to get to know you as a person before they get to know who you are as a business owner. And yes, you are also going to share your struggles. You're human. Your clients are human. You are allowed to be vulnerable and share things with people. I know that so many of us were so apt to wanting to keep these things kind of private about ourselves, and that we don't want to share the negative aspects of our life. But you know what? You should be sharing your struggles, because it's a great way to connect with other people. You never know what you're going to have in common with someone until you share that bit of information. And it's a great way for people to kind of come together and support one another and build a community. Think about what this relationship would be like if you were to do this in person. You're doing this virtually through a group where there are tons of other people that can come together and support one another. So when you are connecting in Facebook groups as your Facebook business profile, you are there to educate, entertain, or encourage. No promotions, like no graphics, no, nothing in there saying like, oh my gosh, like, here's my business card and blah, blah. No, none of that. Nope. I don't want you to talk about yourself. You want to know why? Because you're there to talk about other people. If you listen to the Direct Insurance podcast, episode 5 was 5 free ways to generate high quality leads. I sat down with John Janicek, and one of the things that he talked about was the 3 degrees of separation, that you're very close to knowing pretty much anyone in any sort of community, because the more that you network and the more that you get to know other people, you can say like, oh, hey, Nancy, like, oh, you know Susie Q. I know Susie Q. You know what? My dad went to school with Susie Q. And so that's just a great way to connect with other people. You are there to build relationships of trust and rapport the same way that you would do it in person. You are there to understand the consumer behavior, and you can use the ways that people shop and the way that people seek information by just giving them the information that they're looking for. Also, don't be afraid to use your resources. Medicare.gov is a great resources, and these are the things that you are allowed to share online. CMS is not going to come after you for using Medicare.gov as a resource. If people have questions in groups and you see people that are answering these questions, post a link to Medicare.gov and just be like, hey, here's some information on that. You want people to see you as a fountain of insurance knowledge. If you know where the reputable sources are, where people are looking for information, you can post those links. And the reason why you want to engage in these groups like that and try to engage at least 5 times a day is because you want people to recognize your name, your business logo, your icons, whatever, in all of these different groups. And you want it to be a little bit more repetitive. Think about it. People have to see your brand a good 22 times before they even think about making a purchasing decision. So it's kind of like a numbers game. The more that you are sharing, the more that you are educating, the more that you are entertaining or encouraging, the more that people are going to see you as a valuable resource. And that's what you want. So what Facebook group selling should not look like. Again, like I said, you can't exactly just go busting down the door into a group and say like, hi, my name is John, and I'm here to help seniors with their Medicare plans. Call me if you need help with Medicare. 8675309. They are going to kick you out so quick. They're going to come out with the pitchforks and clubs and stuff on fire and being like, get out of here, because nobody wants to be sold to in this space. What we are looking for is inbound lead generation. Putting your stuff out here like that without building any sort of relationship first is more considered outbound. You want inbound. You want to be able to post things on your business page that are educational and the promotional stuff. This is where you can post that on your Facebook business page, but you're not going to post it in groups. Okay. If you have educational content, that's where you can post it into a group, but you're not going to do it as promotional content in a group. So you want to know what happens to spammy business owners who promote their business before they've built relationships? Guess what? Your brand is going to go straight into the trash. People are going to automatically kind of assume about you and your business that you are just there to make a quick buck, which obviously you guys are not there to do that. You guys are there to build relationships and get to know people and get other people to kind of talk about themselves and get to know their pain points, so that then you as a business owner can provide them with a solution with what you do and what you sell. So step 1, what you're going to do is you're going to join 5 Facebook groups that have audience members that match your target audience. Now, this is something that's very important as well. You have to have a niche. You have to sit down and think about 4 people that would be your ideal client, your ideal target audience. These are the people that you want to work with. These are the types of people that you want to attract. Those are the people that you are going to be producing content for. You want to educate these people. So let's say, for example, you're in the Medicare space and you are targeting a woman. Let's just give her name, Mary. Mary is 67 years old. She lives in Dearborn, Michigan. She is a widow. She's retired, and she is a diabetic, and she is on Ozempic. And one of her, biggest struggles is the fact that Ozempic is, of course, a very, very costly drug. So she needs a Medicare plan that is going to help decrease the amount of money that she's going to be spending before the donut hole. What you're going to be doing is producing content that is centered around this audience persona. So this is how, then once you kind of have an idea of what Mary does, like in her spare time, yeah, she's on Facebook. What else does she do? What kind of Facebook groups does Mary join? Does she like to cross stitch? Does she is she active? Does she, what sort of sports does she play? Where is Mary? Who is your customer? Where are they? And how do you speak to them? I had a professor that just said that every single day in class while I was in business school. Who is your customer? Where are they? How do you speak to them? And that's something that I want you guys to think about every single day when you are trying to interact with anyone online. Step number 2 is you're going to be scrolling through the posts in each group and leave 5 genuine, meaningful comments. Now, you're having conversations with people. Again, we're kind of thinking about this in statistics. It's kind of a numbers game. You want to be able to add, obviously, like helpful information. You don't want to just comment a bunch of like emojis or whatever. It has to be meaningful. But at the same time, you want to build relationships with people, right? So then once a week, you're going to be sharing a relevant post in each group, something about either the group or your personal experiences. Nothing to do with your business. I mean, it can have something to do with your business if it's relevant to what maybe you had seen going on in the group over the last week. Again, the whole point is to make sure that you're getting to know these groups of people and then sharing content that is relevant to them. And then at the end of each month, you're going to add 5 friends from whom you had engaged with in each group. So think about that. So that you're going to get 25 new friends each month on either your personal profile or as your business page. 5 groups, 5 people, it's 25 new friends right there. So when you are converting new friends, you're sharing educational posts from your Facebook business page to your personal profile. So the way that your Facebook business page works is that you've got like a smaller group of people that are able to see your post from your Facebook business page because they either like or follow your page. But when you're sharing content from your Facebook business page to your personal page, and you have maybe 800 to 1,000 friends on your personal profile, when you're sharing the content from your Facebook business page, that is going to extend your reach and is going to show more people that you're actually friends with on your actual friends on Facebook, all of this educational content. And then if you add a call to action, like share this post, and then maybe 3 out of your 1,000 friends share it with their network of friends, it just kind of keeps growing. And that's kind of how things tend to go viral, is because that's when things are sharing it. Now, guys, let's also keep in mind too that, we're in the insurance industry here. It's a lot harder to go viral when it comes to insurance than it would be for like a magic diet weight loss pill. If you had somebody say like, oh my gosh, I lost 30 pounds in a month from using this supplement, people would lose their freaking minds and they'd be sharing it like crazy. But if you're like, here are the 4 parts of Medicare, like you might get 1 or 2 shares, so like we're going to be a little bit more realistic, but the point is that we are consistent and that we are sharing educational content. And we are also sharing company culture posts from your Facebook business page as well. If you're a one-man or a one-woman show over here, and you're just like independent, you are your own business, you don't really have any other agents under you, you don't really have a downline, that's fine. You can share things about your friends and your family, post things to your Facebook business page about like what you did over the weekend, because these are the things that people want to see. People want to see that you are human. People don't want to see that just all you do is work. I mean, granted, yeah, when you own your own business, all you do is work, but at the same time, you want to be able to show people that there's more to your life than just insurance. And that's what people want to be able to connect with you on. You're also going to send messages of encouragement by replying to Facebook stories. Scroll through your stories feed at the top of your phone. Like you'll see like, view stories from whoever. Go through those stories and then like reply to stuff and just be like, oh my gosh, like I love that your kids are getting so big. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh, haha, your dog is so funny. Like, oh my goodness, what kind of dog is that? Oh my goodness, like, oh, that looks like you had a great lunch. Where did you go? Like just connect with people. That's all it is. And you're going to be sending those messages back and forth, and it's opening up those lines of communication, but in a really organic and natural way. And then at the end is what we are going to share what you know about insurance when the opportunity presents itself. We are going to strike when the iron is hot. When somebody asks a question about insurance, that's when you're going to jump in. That's when you're going to be like, hey, me, I know the answer to that one. Think about yourself as that kid in school that's really, really quiet and reserved, and the teacher never calls on them whenever the teacher asks a question. But as soon as you really know the answer, your hand is going to shoot up so high, you're going to be like, I know the answer. That's going to be you. You're going to strike when the iron is hot. And what you're doing in this sense is that you are developing a business funnel for long-term business growth. You are building relationships using social media. You're not just using it to throw all this information out there and, just to promote your business. You are building the relationships. After conducting so many of these different interviews through the Direct Insurance podcast, what I have realized is that so many of you guys, this is one of the things that I've really, really enjoyed about working with IAD, is realizing that so many of our agents are not just out here just to sell insurance. You are out here to provide real life solutions to real life problems that people have in their everyday lives. You are there to make friends and build relationships and to provide, again, like I said, provide solutions. And when you're building a business funnel, people have to know about you first in order to buy from you. So that's going to kind of be where the awareness kind of comes into play. And that's the reason why you're going to be interacting as your business profile and why you're going to be commenting or posting at least 5 times a day, because you want people to get to know your name, your logo, your brand, and who you are, what you do, and how what you do provides value. Moving further down the funnel is when you're going to start to see people engaging with you or your content, replying to you, commenting on posts, sharing your posts. That's kind of what you want. And then further moving down the funnel is where we're going to have conversion. That's when people are really going to start to like follow your business page and, start to really see who you are as a person. And then the next phase is going to be the negotiation phase, which is where they're going to kind of be going back and forth as to whether they're going to be wanting to work with you or not. But if you've developed a nice solid friendship sort of based relationship with them online, then that's when it'll be a little bit easier for them to become a customer. And then further again, moving down the funnel is loyalty. So that's where your renewals and referrals are going to come into play. So an example conversation of what this would look like is that, so say maybe, for example, somebody's in a group, they posted a question or an issue that they were having, say like, oh, my mom just lost her Medicare coverage. Maybe she got scammed. Maybe she got called by one of those, 1-800 numbers or Medicare scammers. And so now, because they don't know about what's happening with the industry, they take to Facebook to ask questions. My mom just lost her Medicare coverage. What do we do? That's when you're going to pop it in and be like, oh, Cheryl, I'm actually a licensed Medicare agent and I might be able to help. Oh, thank you, Carol. I didn't know you were an agent. What are our options? She's having surgery next month. Well, this is what you'll want to do. And then, you can share whatever it is that you're legally allowed to share, CMS, staying CMS compliant, but message me and I can set up an appointment to walk your mother through the process. Now, keeping in mind that, again, not every conversation like this is going to lead to a sale, but when you are sharing this information like this, you are positioning yourself again as a fountain of insurance knowledge. And that is what we want. We want to network and posting what you know about insurance in order to bring you more referrals. I'm actually going to use this as an example. So for those of you who don't know, I am a bridal makeup artist. I'm a freelancer. And I all the time will get people who will mention me in Facebook posts in like groups and stuff. If somebody's looking for a bridal makeup artist, somebody will tag me. And instead of me trying to message that person who had originally posted the question, I'm not going to bombard them with messages, because I want them to come to me. Because to be honest, every single time that I had ever messaged someone after another person had tagged me in a post, that person never even replied to me, because they feel bombarded, because they're probably getting 7,000 other messages from all the other makeup artists that were also tagged in that post. So you want, again, people to come to you, and you want to seem like you're knowledgeable enough in order to solve their pain points. I'll also use, again, for an example, that there was a bride in a Facebook group who had said, hey, I was planning on doing my own makeup for my wedding. What do you guys think? I have oily skin. How do you think that this will hold up throughout the day? And of course, there were a bunch of other girls in the comments that were like, oh my gosh, you should have me do your makeup for you, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I did? I answered her question. I said, wow, you know what? This looks great. This could use a little bit of this. This could use a little bit of that. But honestly, overall, the look is fantastic. And for what I do for my clients for super oily skin is step A, B, and C. Do you know what? I had 3 girls reach out to me on my Facebook business page, sent me a message and said, hey, I want to book you for my wedding because you seem like you really know what you're doing. That's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes, is that you are showing people who you are, what you do, how what you do provides value, and you are educating them without being pushy. No one wants a pushy salesperson. So we're just we're the pulley salesperson. We're pulling people in. We're doing this. We're not pushing stuff out. We're pulling them in. We're reeling them in. We're going fishing. but in the best way possible. Because people will pay for what you do, but they will pay more for what you know. And we have to remind ourselves that we are the industry professionals. Not everyone is a Medicare expert like you are. So you want to educate consumers with content. And remember that content is king. You want to prioritize video content in under 2 minutes, something that's easily digestible while people are scrolling. Because remember that most people do, if you guys were actually at the Medicare Sales Summit a couple of weeks ago, Andrea Hicks was actually the person who brought up that most people read at a 3rd grade level, especially in these underserved communities and it's like in the Wayne County areas. So it's really important to educate people with video because it's also the closest thing to face-to-face interaction. And social media algorithms are highly prioritizing video content right now. So if you want to get your name out there and if you want to get in touch with more people, you really want to prioritize your video content. And you also want to have a call to action, which is actually a CTE, a call to engagement. You want people to engage with your content. You want people to either share, comment, like, because the more that people watch the video, the more that people comment, the more that people interact with the content, the more that piece of content is going to get spread further into the algorithm for more people to see. So that's what you want. You also want to have a good content diversification or good content mix. So for every 6 posts that you make, 3 should be educational, 2 should be about you and your company culture, and then only 1 should be promotional. Again, we want to educate, entertain, or encourage. And our goal again is to increase reach and engagement. So your reach is the number of accounts that the post is seen by. And then your engagement is, of course, the amount of, people that were either engaging or interacting with the content in some type of way. And then another really important thing is to go live, go live on Facebook, on your business profile, share something for 5 minutes, whether it just be maybe like the Medicare supplement rate increases or anything that you are able to give that is educational pieces of content. Think mini Medicare 101 presentations, or even a life or annuity presentations as well. Think about what it is that people need to know. What do they want to know? And then how can you present this information in a CMS compliant way that is going to make you seem more attractive to an audience of consumers? So maybe why hasn't Facebook selling worked for you in the past? Well, because maybe you were just posting Medicare 101 graphics and, that really won't get you anywhere, okay? Maybe you were doing more selling or promoting than you were educating. Maybe you were just making excuses. Maybe you weren't consistent. I actually had an agent ask me the other day, they were like, well, how do you have all the time for this? And I'm like, I make the time. I spend 30 minutes every day scrolling through Facebook groups, commenting and engaging. And it's something that is going to help build my brand as time goes on. You have to be consistent, because if you're not consistent, you're not going to go anywhere. I often, have to ask myself, how badly do I want it? How bad do I want it? Because if I'm not trying and if I'm not consistent, then obviously it means that I don't want it very much. Think about somebody who's training for the Olympics. Do you really think that they train for a week and then they take a month off to relax? No, they do it every single day. They train and train and train and train. You have to do the same thing. And maybe you had a lack of energy or didn't have an effective content mix. Maybe you just had a bunch of those Medicare 101 graphics that, maybe really didn't provide a whole lot of value for that consumer. Again, you have to think about, what does your consumer want to know and what do they need to know? And that's what you want to focus on. Again, maybe you were only posting selling content, like, buy from me now. Or maybe you were posting irrelevant imagery. Maybe it was like, it was a Medicare 101 post, but the picture was like a group, like a field of sunflowers. That's not really relevant to insurance or who you are, what you do, and how what you do provides value. Maybe you were using location tags or hashtags. Guys, hashtags are the easiest way to get your content to be shown to more people than just the people who follow your pages. It's a great way to solidify to put your content essentially into online folders that other people, when they're searching for content online, it's basically used like keywords. You have to think about it like keywords. Another thing that might not have worked for you is that you're not posting selfies. People want to see your face. They want to get to know who you are. They want to be able to see you. It'd be like the same way as that if you were to meet someone in person and shake their hand. You want to be able to get to people to see who you are, what you look like, because expectations versus reality. Like we want reality all the time. And maybe you were posting repetitive imagery. Like, nobody wants to see the same thing over and over and over and over and over again as they're scrolling through your feed. They want something new. They want something different. Obviously, so many people these days are getting diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, sometimes even in their 30s and 40s. So you have to think about what is going to keep people on top of your stuff, what's going to want to keep people continue to scroll through your pages. Also, another thing is maybe you weren't sharing posts from your business page to your personal page. That's how you're going to get more people to see your content, is by posting to your Facebook business page. Maybe you're using Meta Business Suite. And then you, from your personal profile, you're sharing that piece of content to your personal profile. So again, more of your friends and family can see it. Or maybe you were trying to make your life look like it was perfect. Listen, nobody's perfect, okay? Absolutely no one. We all have struggles. We all have things that we're combating. And again, that's going to make you seem more relatable and more like fun and engaging, and wants people to be able to engage with you, is by being able to show people that, yes, I'm not perfect. I'm still a person. And even though I'm an insurance broker or an insurance agent, my life isn't perfect, and that's okay. So, but if you need help with producing content, we here at Marketing Advisors Direct would love to help you out. So what we do is we help agent with content marketing to help your online appearance appear more credible, legitimate, and personable to your online audience. I know that a lot of people kind of like struggle with either coming up with content or trying to come up with ideas and what's relevant to their online audience. So, but that's something that we can help you with. We can help your online pages seem more credible so that you can spend more time networking and then building those relationships. So instead of you spending all the time to come up with the content, post the content, get it all scheduled out, you can just spend that 30 minutes a day. Instead of coming up with the content, you're going to spend that 30 minutes a day engaging and networking in groups online instead. So you can also email me. You can also call me at our 1-800 number as well. My extension is 126. So if you guys need help with content marketing, please let me know. So here we go, the fun part, how to get your free PDF. So what you are going to do is you are going to like and follow Insurance Advisors Direct on Facebook if you're not already. And then you are going to go and share this post. So this one here about the Direct Insurance podcast, or season 1, episode 8 just dropped today. And that was how agents are getting ripped off of social media marketing. And if you have not already listened to the episode yet today, I highly recommend that you do. It's a really, really good episode. We sat down with Lisa Wynn and Dan the Man Insurance, etc. And we talked about, how social media marketing, from other maybe third-party agencies have really not been working out for some agents. So make sure you check that out. And then when you do share the post, make sure you tag or mention IAD in your post. So when you share the post, I will be able to see it. I'll be able to see your name, and then I can look up your email in our CRM system, and then I will be able to email you your free PDF. So make sure you do that. So again, like and follow IAD on Facebook, share the post, and then when you share it, make sure to tag or mention us in your post. Okay. So next up is questions. Does anybody have any questions? It's tough. And if you guys do have any questions, just let me know. And I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. And thank you, Shannon. Okay, thanks guys. Have a great day. Bye.